The Carolina Panthers need Xavier Legette to become a star receiver if they want Bryce Young to develop into their franchise quarterback. The Panthers upgraded their receiving core by trading for Deontay Johnson, but let's be honest here. His ceiling is as a good number 2 receiver, and at this point in Adam Thielen's career, he's just a great slot guy. Bryce Young needs Legette to become a playmaker he can consistently rely on when everything else is going wrong. A guy that can jumpstart an offense when there's no momentum. A bully who can turn any play into a house call. Young needs Canales to use Legette the same way the 49ers use Deebo Samuel. I know at this point, saying a player has a Deebo Samuel comp is about as cliche as saying the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck, or don't forget to punch that subscribe button. It's a label that gets slapped onto any bigger body receiver coming out of college, but Legette may be one of the few guys who has a legitimate chance to succeed in that same role that the 49ers use Deebo. The same role that has helped the Niners make consistent deep playoff runs and help Purdy play at an MVP candidate level. How does that kind of a role, though, help Bryce Young become a Pro Bowl level player?
There are 3 primary ways the 49ers use Deebo Samuel that all utilize his bigger frame, his speed, and his bully mentality. Each of these ways makes quarterbacks' lives much easier and is why Samuel is one of the highest paid receivers in the NFL. The way people are most familiar with is just to get the ball in his hands method. This usually consists of handoffs, end arounds, and screens that maximize his ability to find holes and get his bigger frame on the edge against DBs that typically don't want to tackle. Now, I don't think Xavier Legette should be taking inside handoffs, but it's not hard to imagine the Panthers using XL in a similar fashion, especially on early downs, to keep the offense ahead of the chains. He has the speed to get to the edge on end arounds and the size to run over corners on screens. If Xavier Legette can match even half of Deebo's 11.2 yards per screen reception, or matches 8.2 yards per end around, it would cause defenses to have to be aware of these threats and play horizontally to take them away. This sets up bigger inside run opportunities, and Dave Canales loves establishing the run. From there, it allows Dave Canales to dial up some deep shots in second and manageable, or more effectively get linebackers to bite on the run fake on play action. Either way, life should be so much easier for Bryce Young than it was in 2023.
Another common way, and in my opinion, more exciting way they use Deebo is to attack the middle of the field. They usually do this with slants from the slot and crossing routes, more specifically dagger concepts. This works so well for Deebo because the concept itself creates space for him without him needing to be some route running savant like Brendyn. And just in case you don't know, a dagger concept is a route combination that features a vertical route from the slot, an 18 to 20 yard dig, and a shallow cross creating a high-low read on the backers. The vertical takes the safeties out of play and leaves the backers with 2 choices. If they come up to take away the underneath route, then Deebo gets the ball with a full head of steam 18 yards downfield with open space. That is a nightmare situation for the safety or backside corner who has to try to make that touchdown saving tackle. Give Legette the same kind of space and plays like this happen.
Barry, blitz at the middle. He picks it up. Rattler on a crossing route. Got his man at the 30, 35, 40 on the run at the 50, at the 30. That is Xavier Legette at the 10. Are you kidding me?
Having Young deliver 20-yard strikes that become 50-yard touchdowns should definitely allow him to play with more confidence and less pressure, knowing that this offense can score at any moment from anywhere. Also, as Legette starts pulling more attention, it should allow Thielen and others more space to work with underneath, allowing Young to do what he does best and distribute the ball quicker.
The last and most underrated way is throwing it up to Deebo on go routes. Unfortunately for Deebo, the 49ers don't call a whole lot of the straight up go routes for him, but on his 10 targets of throws of over 20 yards, he did have a 135.4 passing rating. Deebo Samuel's bigger frame and strong hands make him great at just absolutely bullying DBs for those 50-50 balls. Like Deebo, Legette is great at using his big frame and strong hands to dominate at the point of the catch. I would argue that it is the strongest part of his game at this point, and Xavier Legette has the speed to create more separation on these routes.
Jersey with Jacarrion Joyner in the backfield, but he wants to go to work and goes down the field, left side. And it's going at the 35-yard line. And it's Legette running away for the second one of the night. Touchdown, Carolina.
Even with XL being as good as he is at winning these deep shots, you can't realistically always rely on these type of plays to work. Defenses would quickly roll a safety over the top of him and take away those opportunities. But giving Bryce a guy who could win those one-on-one matchups at the right time to put a dagger in a team's heart, or at the very least flip the field in a hurry. Knowing that it could be coming also forces defensive coordinators to play their safeties back, preventing them from getting more involved in the run game.
If the Panthers can create their own Deebo out of Xavier Legette, Young will finally have a weapon that he can utilize like he did at Alabama. From there, the accolades can quickly start coming in. As we mentioned before, Young's biggest asset is his ability to distribute the ball to his playmakers quickly and efficiently, similar to Brock Purdy's skill set. The whole league has now seen what a distributor can do with a weapon like Deebo and how fast they can put up Pro Bowl level stats. Players like Legette and Deebo don't just create for themselves though. Their presence on the field opens up other opportunities for other receivers and running backs because of the attention they command. It also makes life easier for the offensive line. Canales can keep rushers off balance with screens and quick hitting plays. The numbers back this up too. The 49ers have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL last year, but Purdy finished with the third lowest pressure to sack ratio out of quarterbacks with 400 dropbacks. This was because Purdy had a player like Deebo that he could get the ball to quickly. With Xavier Legette becoming an offensive weapon and Bryce Young having receivers he can distribute to and make plays off of, the Panthers should find themselves back in the playoffs sooner rather than later.
Panthers' return to relevance starts with Bryce Young taking that next step. Xavier Legette, if used right, is a player that can help Bryce Young reach that next level. But what the Panthers can't do is run XL out there like he's Adams or Diggs and expect him to win with his route running ability. It's just simply not his game right now and will be setting him up to fail, and by proxy, failing Bryce Young. It is something that he can develop down the road, but expecting him to rely on it now is a pure recipe for disaster. Using Xavier Legette like Deebo Samuel's not only plays to his and Bryce Young's strengths, but it also opens up the offense for Thielen, Johnson, and the running back group. But tell us what you think. How would you like Dave Canales to use Xavier Legette? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to punch that subscribe button. It should be appearing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. We are the RFL Show, and we'll see you in the next one.